Hey y'all, it's me. It's your girl, the real deal Anita's Gives Reaction. Like, share, and subscribe. Yes, I want to give my second half to all the Real Deal Game members, subscribers, people from other countries, workers, anybody celebrating a birthday, any special day. I want to congratulate you. Good. Well, I want to get into the little basic channel. Uh, needs what you need. What my expectations from you all. Uh, if you would like to donate to the channel, please feel free to donate to Lanita Gill 523. $sign Lanita Gill 523. Then I appreciate it. Please join the channel for $4.99 a month for special perks. Please be kind and respectful to one another, and your comments and participation is very well needed to help support the channel. Keep in mind, this is our channel, not just Lanita's. Okay, y'all. Today, I'm not gonna wait. I'm gonna go ahead on and get started. We're gonna talk about the Idaho four alleged suspects. No, 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 not suspect. Alleged. Okay, the Idaho four alleged suspect was investigated for his behavior with female students. Now, before I get into that, I want to discuss that. Y'all remember back the Real Deal game, Real Deal team. Y'all know you remember back when we was discussing about do Brian like women? Because the reason what made me ask that question is because he he didn't even greet his attorney good to me. It seemed like I know she felt cold. I know she felt like she got a cold brush. It just seems like to allegedly that he don't get along with females, or either he got something against females. I always wonder, about that, and I'm glad that someone caught it. So what we're gonna talk about this evening, okay? We're gonna talk about this and we're gonna discuss it. I'm about to go and get started. So as you come in the door, kind of like catch up with us to find out what we discussed, because I'm not gonna start over. I'm gonna continue moving on. Okay, here we go. We're going to go over some information that I want to share with you about Brian Kohlberger. Brian Kohlberger he's a alleged suspect, y'all. Not saying he's the suspect. He's the alleged suspect. That means that they think he's the one, but they don't. They got to prove it. They have to really prove it. But I'm gonna we're gonna take a look at some information about Kohlberger. And 1 second. Excuse me. Okay. All right. We're gonna take a look at some information dealing with Kohlberger, the alleged suspect. Okay. We're gonna take a look at that real quick. I'm gonna try not to hold y'all long, but I need to hold y'all for a while, okay? Okay. Let me share something with you. Hold on, y'all, for 1 second. How's everybody today? I hope everybody doing well. Good. We had a beautiful day today. Not cold, not chilly, but you need a jacket on, a sweater, a sweater, or something like that. But I'm going to share this information with y'all. 1 second. Okay. I'm going to share some information with y'all about Kohlberger. Um, they think that alleged that Brian was going to be tested for not liking women, and it can be like that because it's something ain't right, something not right. 1 second, y'all. I'm gonna be with y'all. Okay, I had to take a little test, y'all, right quick. Oops, I need to hit done. Okay. Okay, here we go. Let's take a look at this information right here. I'm gonna go over it with you all to make y'all understand what they are saying. Now, this is 1122 King. King Road is this house right here. Is where the four students was, slaughtered at, and they still trying to find out who did it. They have a alleged suspect, but they not sure. So we're gonna get into this. The suspect, Brian Kohlberger, was investigated, y'all, by his university shortly before the Idaho killing. He was investigated from his university before the killing. Okay. Washington State University is where Brian Kohlberger attended. Okay. He was reportedly investigating his behavior toward female students. Now I don't know who heard his film or what he going through, but he have a sense of humor it differently with females. But I noticed when I tried to look through past Brian and tried to see is he treating since he treating his since he treating his attorney that way and girls that way. I want to know why isn't he treating the judge that way unless he giving the judge a second thought. Also, is that ultimately Brian Kohlberger was fired from his role as a teaching assistant. See, I was trying to understand how is Brian a teaching assistant, but I don't have no control over that. Yes, yes. He had a problem being. He was fired from being a member. He was remember he was a teacher assistant. Well, he got fired from that job. Okay, and also he was investigated before the Idaho killing. Uh, behavior towards female. Okay, so we're gonna get into this. Okay, just weeks before, four University of Idaho students were stabbed to death last year. The suspect in their murders was investigated by his university, Bryant University, Washington State University. Okay, his behavior toward female students. Okay, Brian Kohlberger is 28 years old, a former PhD student, is charged with the murder. Kaylee Goncalves, 21, Madison Moynihan, 21-year-old Zana Carnua Noodle, 20. She was 20. She and Ethan Chapin was the two youngest. They date. They go together. Now the students was killed on November the 13th of last year. Less than 2 weeks after Kohlberger met with faculty members to discuss issues with his behavior performed according to the time. Now, what they trying to say right there in that little paragraph right there is, y'all, Brian was fired from teaching assistant, but he has a different behavior with females. So they trying to say that, but they got to realize it was a male in this. If he had something against female, he might have something against male too, because he killed a male, allegedly, you know. Yes. So they trying to say that what made him attack these that he's the alleged suspect, y'all, but they put Brian as the suspect. I'm not gonna do that. I can't call him the suspect until he go to court in June of this year. Okay. Okay, ultimately, Washington State University Criminal Justice Department opted in December to fire Kohlberger as a teaching assistant. Fire him as a teaching assistant. Now, if you get fired being a teaching assistant and you supposed to have your PhD, what's your problem is? I know a lot of, it be like that sometimes, y'all, but I don't know what the problem is. Among the faculty members reported concern was Kohlberger's conduct towards women. And what process that with me is when his attorney, Republican defendant, well, I'm gonna say attorney, I'm gonna respect her. Uh, uh, he sat there and gave her a fake smile. He act like he didn't want to talk to her, and she can't cover nothing if he don't open up his mouth and talk with her. I think he should have got a mail. According to the Times, multiple female students complained that Kohlberger made them feel uncomfortable. Okay, on one occasion, Kohlberger was accused of following a female student to her car. Two people familiar with the situation told the time. So, what's going on with Bryant? Why is he doing this, y'all? Why is he chasing women? That's what it seemed like he doing. Well, anyway, it's a little video right here. I think it's a video. Let me see. I'm gonna turn the music off of it and kind of sort of read it. Hold up, y'all. I know they ain't expect for me to read that fast. Why does it keep going? Stop, stop, stop. Okay. Okay, here we go. It's the chat room. Inside Idaho, murder suspect alleged chat room post. I can do whatever. What is that? Hold on, y'all. What is that? I can do whatever. What? I can do whatever I want with a little remorse. What? I can do whatever I want with a little remorse. So I can do what I want to do. Just give me a little, just just help me out a little bit. Wow. The New York Times reported that Brian Kohlberger, the suspect in the murder of four University of Idaho students, you see how he look at his attorney, and he gonna turn his head. Gave her a fake smile. Allegedly had an account on the online formula Tapper Talk with the username, what is Zar? Those with visual snow. What? That's his username? Yeah, but maybe people would. I really need to look up. Let me see something. Visual snow must really has affected him. He using that as an excuse. Allegedly, he had an account on the online formula Tapper Talk with the username Zar at Zar. Those with visual snow. Let me look this up. Hold on, yeah. We'll get into that in a few minutes. But it's like a television with a lot of little bit of line, little bit of spots. Over 100 of the accounts posts from 10 years ago focus on disturbing aspects of the user mental state per the outlet. In other words, something is going on with Brian. But we know he was allegedly on drugs before he still probably was. He still probably is using. You don't know. Never know. Okay. The account was connected to him by his childhood friend, and the fact that the user. Oh, hold up, y'all! I didn't know that. Now let me back. His childhood friend allegedly had an account on the online formula Tabletop with the username Zar at Zar. SI, those with visual snow. Y'all go outside. Go outside. Over 100 of the accounts, go outside, posts from 10 years ago focus on disturbing aspects of the user's mental state per the outlet. So it was like over 100 accounts, posts from 10 years ago focus on Brian's mental state. So my thing is, how was Brian able to get a job if he got such a mental state? How he's how was he able to get a job as a teacher assistant? The account was connected to him by his childhood friend. So Brian Kohlberger account was connected to him by his childhood friend. And the fact that the user matches his old email account. Y'all, this is crazy. This is crazy. So I want to ask this question. I know this is going to be personal. The account was connected to Brian by his who is Brian's childhood friend? That's who we need to find out. Because all we know, the childhood friend could be responsible for a lot of things that Brian Kohlberger is alleged doing. That's something to think about. What my ink pen at? Hold up, y'all. I never thought about that. The childhood friend. Gotta shit like, oh, Brian Kohlberger childhood friend. Who is his childhood friend? Ring 8-bit bell. I need to catch that check. I gotta check. I can't even deposit. I can't do nothing with it. So Brian had an account that was connected to him by his childhood friend. Y'all, I'm writing this down because this is important in this case. It's gonna make me think that the friend got control over Brian, and the fact that the username matches his old email account, y'all. So is Brian playing games with himself? Huh? He got to be playing games with himself. Because if that's his old email address and he trying to say that his childhood friend helped him with that account, then Brian ain't telling the truth about something going on. The user joined the Tabba Talk on November. Let me write that down. I gotta write that down. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. So the user joined Tabba Talk on November the 1st, back in 2009. That was his old address joint, and was last active February the 20th, 2012, when Kohlberger, no, now 28, was a teenager. So Brian got something going on with him. Didn't no psychology or nobody talk to him. They need to get these people some help. On November the 1st until now, and was last active. So the count was last active February, and we about to go to February the 20th soon, 2012. When Kohlberger now 28. And during that time, he was a teenager. So it seemed like Brian has a pass. Brian has a pass. And it's not too much it's not that good. So it said, okay, so that user they joined in November and was last active in 2012 on February the 20th. Was last, okay, so he stopped using it 2012 when Kohlberger, now 28, was a teenager. What in the world was he doing? The user was a member of the visual. Whoa! Y'all giving out some answers. So the user who uses Brilliant old email address was a member. Oh no. Member of the visual snow are status formula in which the user discuss visual snow syndrome. Wow, y'all hear this? We got to talk about this. So the account that was connected to him by his childhood friends, the fact that the username matches his old email address. What? The user joined the Tabletop on November the 1st, 2002, and was last active February the 20th, 2012, when Kohlberger was 28. Now 28, was a teenager then. And then we come up with this. The user was a member of the Visual Snow, our status formula in which users discuss visual snow syndrome. Wow. So he dealing with people, or he want us to think it's somebody else and it's him? I ain't never heard of that syndrome. The rare disorder that can cause people to see stasis in their vision. How in the world is Brian driving a car? Y'all, driving a car, seeing all this stuff. Huh? That's impossible. Are we making an excuse for Brian so he can get out for a certain reason if he locked up? This is crazy. Cause people, let me see something, y'all. To see status. Let me see something, y'all. Let me look something up right quick. And because if he's seeing all this in his vision, how it makes them see? I'm about to do something. Hold on. I need to find out something. Once we finish with this, I want to find out about something about visual snow. Okay. Okay. Hold on, what's my phone at? It said that. Wait, y'all, I'm trying to look up some visual. Never heard of nothing like that. Visual snow. Okay. Syndrome. Let me see what it causes. I put syndrome. Hold on, y'all. Syndrome. Okay. Okay, visual snow is a form of visual hallucination that is characterized by the perception of small biliary simultaneous diffuse mobile or synchronous dots usually throughout the entire visual field, but it can be partial and it is present in all conditions. The hallucination. Okay. What triggers visual snow syndrome? It says scientists aren't sure why visual snow syndrome happens. It may be related to excitability in the occipital lobe of your brain, where images are processed. Okay, let me see what this is. Stat vision. The visual snow. It said that the snow you see may be colorful, black and white, and transparent. It may flash. Scientists aren't sure why visual snow syndrome happens. But my thing is, It says some describe it as seeing things in a snow globe that's been shaken up. Mm, I don't know. Red and like something else going on. What other symptoms? See snow status everywhere you look, whether your eyes are open. Well, then how no difference is he driving a car? Seeing objects trailing after the actual images is gone. Oh, this is okay, y'all. We gonna look at a we gonna after this we'll look at a video. We're gonna look at a video on this snow thing. Brand to me can see good if y'all see he went in there and killed, allegedly killed all of them people. That means that Brand can see well. He don't see no snow, including depression, suicidal thoughts, delusions, grandeur, poor social skill, and no emotions. Now I can see the no emotion. I can see allegedly the poor social skill. But he passed all his classes though. It's weird. It's crazy. When I get home, I am mean to my family. That's what Brian said, y'all. Okay, let me write that. So when he get home, number one, what's this bill is right here? Oh yeah, this my tag. Hold on, y'all. Let me see. Let me get another paper. He said when he get home, number one, he admits that he's mean to his family. Two, this started with VS visual snow. When he had visual snow, that's when all of this had happened. Okay. I felt no emotions. So he can tell us this, huh? And along with the personalization, depersonalization. Okay, let me write that. Depersonalization. I can say and do whatever I want. Hold on. I can do and say whatever I want with little remorse. Wow. So if he say and do what he want with little, he don't really care what he do. It's really like whatever. Little remorse. Everyone hates me pretty much. I am and what? A what? Ooh. Now, Brian, you can't be talking like that over here. Okay, everyone hates him. Everyone hates him. I am an a. Woo, he said he's a So he make it hard for people. We gonna go back over this stuff. Ooh, Brian. I feel dirty, like there is dirt inside of my head. What? Brian, you making me cough. He feels dirty. Brian trying to play crazy. Okay, inside my head. Inside of my head. My mind. Wow. Your head and your mind. Okay, head and mind. I am always dizzy and confused. Brian trying to make it seem like y'all, what's that? When people want insanity. That's what he wanna do. He wanna act like he ain't got no sense. I am always dizzy. You weren't dizzy when you were driving that car that day. Mm-mm. I am always dizzy. Brian, come on now, man. I know what you're doing. And confused. He always dizzy and confused, y'all. Another post read. Come on, man. He trying to play insanity before he go to jail. You gonna stay right in there. Nothing. I am stuck in the depths of my mind where I have to constantly battle demons. And am I here or am I fake? Oh my goodness. Everybody been fighting demons lately. Constantly battle where I have to constantly battle my demons and I hear or am I that fake? Fake. So he constantly battle his demons. I don't know, Brad. You don't look like I don't know. I think you put on. He gave that one a face man. I might spiral out of control and lose myself in the vote. I can't let it all go. All of these regrets. I predict for my future self all of these thoughts of remorse. I know he constantly say remorse a lot. He constantly say remorse. What happened to Brian when he was a young boy, a teenager? Something happened to that boy. Something ain't right mentally. I want to know what happened to him because he's acting out. He's taking it out on other people to what happened to him because he ain't always been like that. So So when he do something, his gift is for a wrong commit. Oh, so he guilty. Right. I don't know what's going to you, but you ain't about to make me crazy. Harry Muslim. So if he did something to somebody, he regrets that he does it. Brian was paid to go in there and do what he did allegedly. I believe that's what's gonna happen. Brian could have been set up to do this, allegedly, knowing that what's wrong with him. Somebody had him to do this. Somebody chose him, and he needed some money. What y'all think? Nothing I do is enjoyable. I am blank. I have no opinion. I have no emotion. I have nothing. Can you relate it? The post ends. Nothing I do is enjoyable. You were doing drugs like you enjoyed it. I am blank. I have no opinion. Nothing I do is enjoyable. Uh, he's blank. No opinion. He has no opinion. How he passed his class, he ain't got no opinion. He has no emotion. He got to have emotion because he have to deal with his professor and other students. And I have nothing. What he mean by he don't have nothing, y'all? I have nothing. And can you relate? No, I can't. Sorry, baby. Kohlberger is now accused of killing Zayna, Ethan, Kaylee, and Madison on November 3rd. He's accused of it now, y'all. He's not. They got to prove he's the killer. They got to. They got to prove that big time. Kohlberger waived his right to a speedy preliminary hearing and will return to the Idaho courtroom on June the 26th. June the 26th when he go back to court. He did a speedy trial. He want to hurry him get it out the way so he can get out of jail free because he ain't did nothing. He ain't did nothing. He ain't child killer. That's why. Yep. Okay. The end of that. So what we gonna do? Wait. Let me start this. We gonna talk about this. We're gonna go back and review what we found out about Mr. Brian Kohlberger. I don't believe Brian Kohlberger is the alleged killer because he got too many situations going on here. We found out that the user, wait a minute, that the account that was connected to him by his childhood friend. Who is Brian childhood friend? Is very important in this case. Who is Brian childhood friend could be the person doing this instead of Brian, since Brian can't see that good. So the account that Brian was connected to, the account that was connected to Brian by his childhood friend is the fact that the user matches the old email account. That's crazy. How can someone connect a account for Brian end up being his old account? Now, Brian, you ain't gonna drive me crazy now. Think about it, y'all. Brian said that the account that was connected to him by his childhood friend, the fact that the username matches the old email address. How would the childhood friend know his old email address? The user joined the person that had that account joined the Tablet Talk on November 2002 and it was last active in 2012. So he had it up for a while. When Kohlberger now 28, Kohlberger was a teenager when this happened. Okay? Now, listen to what I just said now. Whoever set the account, he trying to say that his childhood friend set up an account for him, but the user matches his old email address. Come on now, that Brian doing that. And the user, whoever used his old email address, could join the Tablet Talk. Okay, and was last active in 2012. Now, the user was a member of the Visual Snow status. That's Brian. They see static formula which users discuss. So Brian is allegedly connected with other people with the same syndrome he alleged has. Okay? And we found out that this visual snow is just a rare disorder that can cause people to see statics in their vision, like the little like you see when your blood pressure goes up, you see a little bit of little thingies. One word that Brian always keep in mind, that little whatever I want with a little remorse, deep regret. He regrets what he does when he do it. Allegedly, that's what it's saying. He always used the word remorse. Also, Brian discussed that he's mean to his family. No emotions like he doing now. Depersonalization. I can do and say whatever I want with little remorse. In other words, y'all, I'm kind of tired. That's why I'm slurring. Is guilt. Guilt. Okay. So Brad see himself as a demon. That's what he said. He mean to his family. He have little remorse, regrets, and guilt. No emotions. This depersonalization. Can do and say whatever he wants with little remorse. Everyone hates him. He's feel dirty sometimes, like dirt inside his brain, his head. Everybody think he is a HOLASSHOLE, and he can't be always this. And he finished school and got a PhD and confused consonant battling demon. Come on, y'all. This just sounds like somebody with an excuse. Might not be Brian. It might not be Brian. A lawyer for Kohlberger didn't immediately respond to insider requests for comment because she don't know what to talk about. A representative for the Washington State University confirmed to the insider that Kohlberger had been appointed as a teacher assistant to the school during the fall of 2022 semester. With all the issues that this man got. What? They just hiring anybody. Hold on for a minute, y'all. I'm gonna look us up. Wow. Wow. Brian got some issues. Okay. Let's see where I am right here. How did how can he be a student teacher with these issues? This is crazy. A representative for Washington State University confirmed to Inside that Kohlberger had been appointed a teacher assistant. So you got a teacher assistant with all these depersonalizations and remorses and snow vision and I mean no emotions. He does not currently have a teaching assistantship, and he is not currently enrolled at Washington State University. Okay, the vice president marketing communication at the Washington State University said. Okay, okay. Okay, Kohlberger teacher assistant role, citing the federal Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, which prevents universities from discussing students' record. He said, "I just want to know how Brian get this far in life." Kohlberger ultimately was fired not because of his conduct around female students, but because of his failure to meet the norms of professional behavior with faculty members and his poor performance as a teacher assistant, the Times reported. I wonder, he act like he don't been inside of Kohlberger has been studying for a PhD in criminology. Okay, y'all. A criminology student named Emily previously told Insider that she thought Kohlberger was difficult to work with while he served as her teacher assistant. Oh, he probably trying to like her. At one point, Insider reported that appears to have become uninterested in grading assignments from his students. I wonder did Brian find out about his students about this. Okay, this is anybody let him bury me. What y'all think about this? What are y'all thinking? I don't think he the killer. He doing too much. Brad, this dude right here is doing too much. He got too much going. Brad Goldberger got too much going on. This dude right here. He in, but like to me, he give me a feeling, a sense of humor that he's involved with a group. See how fake he gave her that smile. Allegedly, Brian might not be our person. Allegedly, I don't think he the person. I think it's his childhood friend. If he is not making it up, Brian may be a computer genius, and he have stare. He like to stare. Do he wear glasses? Now I want to take a look at this, y'all. Let's look at snow vision. What does snow vision syndrome? Oops. I want to see what it looked like. Why take me back right here? Snow vision. Oh, it's still one. Hold up, y'all. Let me get out of this. Let me get out of this and go right here. They like tiny dots. I'm gonna see can I put up a video. Okay, let's look at. I'm trying to get. Hold on, y'all. And these folks tripping.
In this video, we're talking about visual snow syndrome, one of the most understood visual conditions that is out there. And today we're talking about the symptoms, how it's diagnosed, and the treatment. Let's take a look. Hey, what's up? This is Dr. Allen here from the Dr. Eye Health Show, helping you learn about the eyes, vision, and finding the best vision products. So hit that subscribe button down below and turn on notifications so that we can help you keep taking good care of your eye. So visual snow syndrome, also known as just visual snow, or sometimes denoted as VS, is a visual condition where people don't see clearly. Instead, they see a lot of little speckled dots on absolutely everything that they're looking at, and kind of reminds you of the static that you'd see on an old television set that wasn't getting good reception. And when someone sees this visual snow, they see this static all of the time, from the moment they wake up in the morning to the moment when they go to bed at night. Now, oftentimes when people have visual snow, they see this static into a really extreme degree, to the point where they're unable to read or function, drive a car, things like that. Where some people just have it to a really minimal degree, and they can almost just tune it out and ignore it. Now, interestingly enough, this condition is so misunderstood.
Okay, I want to go back to what he said right here. He said something that I asked. How is Brian driving the car if he got visual snow? How is he reading so good? Now I took that back.
See the static into a really unable to read or
see, able to read or function a car. So how can Brad be the one see through that? Then he said they can ignore it sometimes, but his conditions sound very rare. So how is Brian gonna be our person? How is Brian gonna be our person of interest?
Function like that, where people just have a minimal degree and they can almost just tune it out and ignore it. Now, interestingly enough, this condition is so misunderstood, it's not really in any of my ophthalmology textbooks. Nothing in optometry, ophthalmology, even my visual science book doesn't really go over what visual snow is. It's that misunderstood. I had to learn most of this knowledge from reading a lot of different journal articles and publications, as well as some sort of resource articles. And I'll include additional links to these resources in the description below if you want to read it and review them yourself. What I find interesting is that I actually do have visual snow syndrome. And yes, I did diagnose myself, and doctors shouldn't do that, but it is something that I've had my entire life since I was a kid. I tried to describe it to people, but how to describe it, and I really didn't know that it had a name until other viewers started commenting on visual snow, and I had to do more research on it to understand it. Now, thankfully, I have a very, very mild case of visual snow. I do see the static most of the time. I just kind of tune it out and ignore it. But if I'm in a dark room, especially in the morning when I'm first waking up, or maybe I'm in an exam room and it's really dark, or maybe I'm going to bed and I really just kind of tune things out, I can see the static on everything. And even right now in the daylight in the rooms of the office here, I can actually see this little static on everything that I'm looking at. I think one of the reasons that visual snow is so misunderstood is that people often just don't know how to describe it or really don't mention it to other people. So if you're somebody who has visual snow, or you're seeing some sort of different visual phenomenon in your eyes, go on the section below, because this again is something we need to be talking about. Now, visual snow syndrome actually has other types of symptoms that go along with one called nyctalopia, which is the inability to see at nighttime. There's also photophobia, which is extreme light sensitivity, which is also me, hence probably why I picked a career where I am in a dark room all day. There's another one called paleonopsia, where people see continuous trails of moving objects in their vision, kind of like moving your hand really fast, except that you see many, many hands trailing afterward. And there's something called the entoptic phenomenon, which is when people start to see little different spots moving in their vision, something like a blue field entoptic phenomenon, which is when you look at the sky and you see little moving spots. Or this could even include seeing colorful swirls in your vision, whether your eyes are closed or not. Again, that is also me. Again, not everybody has all of these different types of visual symptoms. However, most people who have visual snow have at least two of these symptoms. Now, historically, and not until recently, visual snow is always believed to be kind of an after effect of somebody using hallucinogenic drugs such as LSD. But in more recent publications, both neurologists and visual scientists have concluded that yes, you can develop visual snow without any history of hallucinogenic drug use. But it is true that for some people, taking those harsh drugs have permanently altered their visual system, and they do see this sort of visual snow syndrome. Unfortunately, at the timing of this video, both doctors and scientists don't fully understand the exact cause of visual snow. However, the popular theory is something called thalamocortical dysrhythmia, which is believed to be a miscommunication between the thalamus and the visual cortex of the brain, at least when it pertains to visual snow. And visual snow has been a symptom of other conditions such as persistent migraine, other visual kind of phenomenon that you can experience.
Yeah, this is so interesting. This is crazy. This is very interesting. And I know when he talking about the little thing, like when you rub your eye, when you finish rubbing your eye, you can see a lot of little things. And when your blood pressure go up. But this is different. It don't be no snow, it be statics.
Also, if you'd like another video I've done on migraine with aura, I'll hook a link up here in the YouTube card above. And again, I'll put that link in the description below again if you haven't checked that out. But it's also been associated with something called optic neuritis, which is an inflammatory condition associated with multiple sclerosis, as well as inflammatory issues after traumatic brain injury. Now, there are many other bodily symptoms associated with visual snow beyond just the visual symptoms that we've described already. I'm not going to list out all of them because it's a pretty lengthy list, but the most common ones are migraines, a tinnitus, which is a ringing of the ears, and vertigo, which is the feeling of dizziness.
Wow.
Now, if you've been following along in this video, you might have been starting to question, do you have visual snow? And you might be wondering, how is this diagnosed? Well, in the clinic, an eye doctor like myself, or maybe a neurologist, would have to follow through a small checklist in order to properly diagnose visual snow syndrome. So this is that checklist. Number one is that the patient has to constantly be seeing the static of visual snow in their vision. They have to have it all of the time. Number two is that it can't be associated with a constant like migraine with aura. Again, that's a flashing visual obscuration you can have in your vision. If you're not sure what I'm talking about in terms of the aura, then I do have that video going over aura migraine, and I'll again hook that video up in the description below. Number three is that it can't be associated from any sort of drug abuse, multiple sclerosis, inflammation of the optic nerve, or any other ophthalmic or eye disease. And number four is that it has to be associated with some other symptoms, such as photophobia, again, the really very light sensitivity, which is something that I have, some enhanced entoptic phenomenon, which is other visual obscurations, blue field entoptic phenomenon, looking at the sky and you're seeing moving dots, that's something that I see, as well as kind of maybe other color swirls in your vision. That's something that could count for that. You could have nyctalopia, the inability to see at night, and then tinnitus, the ringing of the ears. Those are the more common ones, and typically you have to have one of those other symptoms. Now, since this condition is considered very rare, I've only really diagnosed it on two people, myself and one other patient. Now, certainly other people probably have this visual syndrome. However, they just often don't mention it or talk about it because it's so misunderstood and kind of confusing. But hey, if you are learning something new in this video and finding it helpful, let me know by smashing that like button.
You know, he did. Now, I want to thank that young man. Thank you, Black Emerson, for joining the channel. Wow. Let me go back to you. Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining the channel. I'll let you meet me. Let me see. Hold on. Let me move this for a minute. Thank you for joining the channel. We got a new member, y'all. Thank you. Appreciate you being here. Yes, Yes, thank you so much, y'all. That right there really helped me getting members. I like that. But this was very important. And what I want to do is just go back to Brent. Get out of this. Let me get out of this and go back to Mr. Brian. Hold on, y'all. Let me remove something. Want to go at y'all? Excuse me. I just wrapped it up like that because I'm about to go back to bed. I want to. That's no vision. Something else. Now, what I wanted to do was, I still want to congratulate our new member. I love that. So what I want to do is think about that alleged suspect, Brian Kohlberger. He's not giving me the person to be the suspect in this case. I don't think he's the suspect. I really don't, y'all. I believe they got the wrong one. I really do. Because the reason what I'm saying is Brian brought up Brian, they not telling us something about Brian. Brian brought up childhood friend. Who is Brian Kohlberger childhood friend? Who is his childhood friend? Or is he saying he think he's hallucinating that he has a childhood friend that set up his Tabba Talk? I believe Brian doing this, y'all. And then when they spoke on this personalization, he don't feel real. I don't see Brian being in that. I believe whoever allegedly, it's just my belief. I allegedly believe that a person who did this to Brian, who did this to those four Idaho students, is someone who be around that house, someone who in and out that house. Because for that they happen to them. Why is their doors always unlocked to be a whole lot of girls in the house? Y'all see what I mean? Why is the door always unlocked? They didn't break in the house. Brian said that when he made that, he didn't make his account. He allegedly said that his childhood friend made that account, giving me the thinking that Brian made that account. Brian made that account too. That's what it's telling me, because he said the account that was connected to him by his childhood friend is the fact that the user matches his old email account. His childhood friend won't know his old email account. No. And then the user John Tabatal on November 1st, 2002, and was last active February the 20th of 2012, when Brian, now 28, he's so young. How old was Brian when he first got this syndrome? How old was he? And then when he started doing drugs, it affected his sight. And it kind of like affected what he was doing. They call hallucination, because when you get high, you're hallucinating, going along with what he did. I don't believe he went in there with visual snow and high and stabbing somebody like that. I just can't see it, y'all. I don't see enough strength there. Now, I need to know his childhood friend. I've got to dig into that. Also, it said that the user was a member of Visual Snow. Is this a group of people? It sounds like a group he's in a group. That's what it sounded like. It said the user was a member of visual snow. He has visual snow syndrome. Maybe the people that he hang with has visual snow. Now, this is what I want to know. Did either of those kids have visual snow? Did Kaylee, Madison, Zayna, uh, uh, Ethan? Did any of them have visual snow? That's a very important question. Do any of those kids have visual snow? The reason why I say that, cause he in a cycle with some people. He in a cycle with some people. Okay. And like they said, it's a rare disorder. Okay. That can cause people to see status in me. I know what he talking about. I know what he talking about. You can see those little like but I guess it's like take off your glasses, wear your glasses like when you take off your glasses, you can see it's not as bad. It's tainted. It's not that bad, but it ain't like what they allegedly saying that the syndrome part. Um, so do y'all think the childhood friend is Bryant? Is he because it's some things went on with Mr. Bryant. And the guy dude on the video just said you don't see clearly, you see steady. You sometimes had issues reading and functioning a car. And you like to be in a dark room. And then Brian lost his job being a teacher assistant. He wasn't professional. And then he wasn't treating girls right. They wanted to find out, test him, what to see what the problem is. I have a question. Is Brian with the LGBT community? That's why I want to know. I want to know, is he in a community? He in something that all of them hang together, allegedly. It's just giving me a thought. It's giving me a thought. You don't care for, I don't know why you don't care for women. If you don't care for women, you care for somebody. He act like he care for women. He chase after Brian said a couple of things about him. And what Brian want to do, y'all, is speed his case up. He did a speedy hearing. So that's why his hearing coming up June the 26th. Brian said he does nothing enjoyable. He blank, no opinion, no emotions. He has nothing. He used the term remorse, deep regret, guilt. That's how he feel when he does things. I don't remember. That's how you see how he looked at me when he sat down with his attorney. He did like he came in the courtroom. He said he looked right at the judge. Then he looked at her. He did this. That lady trying to help you, Brian, and you shading her like that. Ooh, child, I had to say, y'all can have this money. This money right here ain't worth me going crazy. Y'all can have it. So Brian, to sum everything up, here are some things that Brian said about himself. Brian said that he's very mean to his family. He has no emotions. Depersonalization means he feel unreal. I can do and say whatever I want with little remorse, guilt, regret. So he could go kill somebody and don't even care. That's how he acted. That's how he portrayed him too. But I can't say Brian is that person. Everyone hates him, he says. That's a remorse. Why do everyone hates him? Um, he's still dirty, like dirt inside his head. That's hallucinating. Dirt can't get in your head like that. He said the dirt get into his mind also. But here's you got this dude, him working on his PhD. Hi, Miss is what it is. Also, he said people say he ASSHOLE. I'm not gonna say that word. That's how people feel about him. He said sometimes he get dizzy and confused, constantly battle demons. Brian got a lot going on, y'all. I don't think Brian my suspect. They got to have proof that Brian is the suspect. All I see is issues. What they had to do in this case, y'all, they had to get the prosecution information, because Brian don't know nothing, and give it to his attorney and let them work out something. Brian is playing mind games with them. I don't know how they gonna win this. Do I think Brian got a chance to get out of this? I don't know, because he didn't get a bond. He didn't get a bond. And usually when you don't get a bond, they holding you for a reason. And for the process, if Brian said that he had an account that was connected to him by his childhood friend, and it ended up being his old email address account, Brian could be doing this mentally to himself. Allegedly, I can't prove it. But only thing I can go with the theory that they gave me, the information I just researched. And for him to have all this vision syndrome, how in the world did he see? Oh, he can see in the dark good. So if the lights was off, he saw them good. Oh, if the lights was off when he went in them rooms and did what he did, he can see good. Like this dude that said on the video, you can see good in the dark. That's why he stay in the dark. So if Brian walked through that house, I'm not gonna say Brian did this, because I can't prove Brian did this. Brian didn't even get him a real attorney. And what I mean, he got a Republican defendant. They don't have no money. Where the money is? He said he didn't have money. He said he ain't got nothing. Everyone hates him. Brian might not be your man. Brian might as well be an action. Brian can be with a circle of people. It seems like he deal with certain kind of people. Like my hair, it's cuckoo, it's crazy, it's odd, it's not cuckoo but odd. He said he communicate with people with visual snow. He communicate with them. He said the user was a member of Visual Snow. And he attacks girls kind of strange. It's how he handle girls. What's going on? They not comfortable around him. Did any other girls at that house. I want to do the owner. The owner. I know it's a lot of big things that I find out about the owner, but they don't put this in. They don't want to put it in this. The owner of one of them houses, of that house, got issues. Why is it that they always have people around that house, y'all? It don't have to be brand. It could be anytime you got it. People hanging outside your house, look like they spaced out, loud music anytime in all over their house when they are not at home. It can alleged be anyone. This can be anyone, but how can y'all choose Brian? The knife, Brian allegedly said, don't forget now, I showed y'all where the anonymous person said that y'all gonna be surprised who it is. The anonymous person said that. But they like saying it's not Brian. Said that the night that Brian had, they was allegedly doing drugs. And the person took that did the dumbest thing, when it started peeping in their house. I don't believe he peeped. They say you can see in Kaylee's room from up there at the top. They ain't got no curtain up there to the window. And I believe allegedly that night, the two girls were sleeping together. And I don't know if the suspect put the dog in the room or was the dog already in the room. See, it's a lot, y'all. It's a lot going on. I think it's a little bit more than Brian. They said that Brian left, allegedly, friend got out and started peeping inside the one, and he left and all that. You know what? It's just too much. They got to be able to prove this. If they don't prove this, Brian already doing time. Serve. But the only thing, they didn't give him a bond. And 4 people deceased. But they gave Patrick, in takeout case, $2 million bond. And then dropped it down to $1 million. But with Brian Kohlberger, they didn't give him no bond. So evidently, judge think something. Everybody's supposed to get a bond. For them to stop and forget a bond, y'all, they think he's the killer. I have no control over that. Anybody want to come? I'm going to drop the link. If anybody would like to come up, they can. If y'all don't have any further questioning, I want to share some information on the case, then, we'll be done. We'll be done, and I can I'm gonna fall asleep. I'm gonna drop the link. If anybody who watching this show, I'm gonna turn the music up a little bit. We got to get us some music made that is not copyright. I want to thank y'all. We got a new member, Black Inversion. Yes. Y'all make the channel. I don't. Y'all make the channel. I want to thank our people who joined. I appreciate you. That's said enough. I'd rather take that and take anything from y'all. All right, y'all. I don't have nothing else to say. I'm sitting here thinking about what I want to eat. I'm so tired of eating. I don't know how they gonna prove Brian did this. I really don't. I really want to see this. But if they got some, if he don't have a bun, what is the condition why he don't have a bun? Okay, y'all. I would like to thank everybody for being here. Y'all like, share, and subscribe. I'll probably be here later on tonight. Late tonight. I'll probably be on late because I know if I when I take a nap, I'm gonna be straight. All right. Once again, I want to thank my new member. I appreciate it. I appreciate what y'all do. In joining the channel, you can join for $4.99. You get a special perk. You get a special perk. You got a new member, and I really appreciate that. I appreciate all my members. Okay, y'all like, share, and subscribe. I'm out. Peace.